This video is over topic 45, numbers 10 and 11, looking at probabilities with playing cards and sum of two dice. So we have the playing cards shown here with the four suits: hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades, or spades, clubs. And the denominations: ace, 2 through 10, jack, king, queen, which are the face cards. So looking at drawing one card and finding the probabilities. So the probability of drawing a jack, if we look here, so that would be 4 of the 52 cards. Or you could look at it as that it is 1 of the 13 denominations. So 452 or 1/13. Then drawing a 3 or a diamond. So if the card drawn, if it's any of these threes, that counts. If it's any of the diamonds, that counts as well. So you could do the 4 threes. There's 4 threes and there's 13 diamonds. If you add those together, you have added the 3 of diamonds twice. So there's 4, 3, there's 3 non-diamond 3 cards plus the 3 of diamonds. And then there's the 3 of diamonds. And then there's 12 diamonds that are not 3. So if you add the 4 and the 13, you've included the 1 3 of diamonds twice, so you'd have to subtract 1. But you could also split this up and you could do the 3 to the 3 plus the 13. So that would be the all of the diamonds and then add the 3s that aren't diamonds. Or the 4, all 4 3s plus the 12 diamonds that are not 3s. So several different ways to go about doing this calculation to get the correct total of 16 out of the 52. If you want to simplify, it comes down to 4/13, but you don't need to. All right, then similarly, in this next one, drawing a face card or a heart. So the face card would be any of the jacks, kings, queens, or a heart. So there are 10 hearts that are not face cards. There are 3 hearts that are face cards. There are 9 non-heart face cards. If you do the 13 heart and the 12 face, then you'd have to subtract because you've double counted the 3 heart face cards. But you could also do, you could just do the 10 plus 3 plus 9, or you could do 13 plus 9, or you could do 10 plus 12. So one way or another, again, getting 22 out of 52 or 11 out of 26, but you don't need to. Either of those completely acceptable. Then the next part, drawing a card that is a face card and a heart. So we want an individual card. Then we can say this card is a face card. We can also say this card is a heart. That's going to be just that overlap. 3 of the 52. Drawing a card that is a heart or a diamond. Now we're looking at two groups that don't overlap. So we just need to add up how many are in each group. 13 hearts, 13 diamonds. Add them up. 26 out of 52. You could also look at it as just of the suits. We're looking at the hearts. So 26 cards out of the 52 cards. But we could also do 2 suits out of the 4 suits. Or you might be able to look at it and say, that's half the cards. So 26 out of 52, 2 out of 4, 1 out of 2. Any of those would be fine. Now, drawing a card that has a heart and a diamond. I'm looking at an individual card, and it can't be both. It can be a heart, it can be a diamond, but there's no card that is a heart and a diamond. Probability is 0. Then number 11, looking at if you roll 2 dice, and often what is looked at there is the sum. So I'm going to look at each of these represents the result on the 2 dice, and they're distinguished as red and green just to help demonstrate that a 2 and a 1 and a 1 and a 2, there's 2 different outcomes that are a combination of a 1 and a 2, depending which die is which. But adding 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 2 is 3, and so on. So we have the sum from each result. But the other thing to, of course, notice here is what is the sample size? How many possible outcomes are there? If you look at this table, you can figure out or count or see that there are 36, 6 rows by 6 columns, 6 outcomes on one die, 6 outcomes on the other, 6 times 6 for 36 outcomes altogether. So all of the probabilities then, the probability of getting a particular result is going to be out of 36. So the probability of having a sum that's divisible by 4, looking at this table, the sum is divisible by 4. There's this one, this one, this one, the 4s, and then the ones that add up to 8 also. And the ones that add up to 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 36. Or it wants decimal here, so 0.25. Then the sum is less than 5. That would be the 2, the 3s, and the 4s. All have sums less than 5. There's 6 of those. And rounded to 2 decimal places, that's 0.17. And then the sum is not divisible by 2 and not divisible by 5. Let's take a look at the possible sums of 2 dice. The lowest it can be is 1 and 1 is 2. The highest it can be is 6 and 6 is 12. So everything from 2 to 12. Now I want it to be not divisible by 2, so I'm going to cross out any of these that are divisible by 2, so all of the even numbers. And then also not divisible by 5, so I'm going to cross out the 5, and the 10's already crossed out, or I would cross that out as well. So the sums that can be, or that are counted, that are in event C are the ones with a sum of 3 or 7 or 9 or 11. So let's find those. I'm gonna switch to highlighter just because I've so 3. Oh, sum of 3 here and here. And we said 7. And 9. Yeah, it's really wanting to do some crazy stuff. And 11. All right, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There were 2 that added up to 3, 6 that added up to 7, 4 that added up to 9, and 2 that added up to 11. So 14 out of 36 comes out to 0.39.